Hello, my lovely, and welcome to episode 32 of the Prosperous Yogini podcast. And today I'm going to talk to you about your why and how. And if you're listening to this before Monday, the 23rd, and I just realized like 32, 23rd, we've got mirror numbers there. That's exciting. If you look for these things, which I do, if you listen to this podcast before January the 23rd and you want to sign up to my Profitable Yoga Business Roadmap, free 3-day live event plus coaching call, the first day, Monday the 23rd of January, 1:30 UK time, is a 45-minute training on the why and the how, which is one of the reasons why I'm talking about this with you today, because it's of the forefront of my mind as I'm thinking about my training, and also give you a little bit of a flavor as to what we will cover on that training session. If you're listening to this after the 23rd of January, don't worry, still going to be a really useful, impactful podcast today. And like I said last week in episode 31, I'm bound to repurpose the content from the live event. Okay, so why, in terms of your business, your yoga business, and maybe you like struggling to fill classes, or you would like to earn more money but you can't see how, or you're already working full-time in a job, part-time teaching yoga, or maybe you're a full-time yoga teacher, maxed out on classes, and you'd like to earn more money, you'd like to earn more, work less, because you're feeling tired and burnt out, over delivering, and you can't see the way through. I think my mum used to say the saying, you can't see the wood for the trees. Okay, in those moments, which we inevitably all have, I have them, still. The most powerful thing you can do when you're in those moments of like, don't feel like this is working, it all feels hard work, I'm feeling frustrated, maybe I'm feeling stuck, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling tired, I'm feeling burnt out, I'm not enjoying this, those emotions, right, that come up, okay, for all of us, I want you to go back to this. The why and the how isn't an exercise that we will do on Monday the 23rd for 45 minutes. I'll get you to do the why and the how and tick done. Okay. The why and the how is something you must revisit, because you evolve. Your yoga practice evolves. You know this. We change over time. Like I'm 45 this year, and what I do now in terms of my physical practice compared to how I used to practice when I was 25. I realize I've been practicing yoga for over 20 years. That's scary. It's amazing as well, eh? Very, very different. What drives me in terms of how I want to move my body is very, very different. I've evolved, I've changed. And of course, my yoga business, my whys and my hows have evolved and changed. So always in those moments of you're just feeling energetically misaligned, for want of a better word, however that might be appearing for you in negative energy, negative feelings, step back and pause, because actually that's quite hard. I find this hard. Like when I'm in a place of like stuckness, frustration, negative energy, my instant reaction is to do something, to take action. And actually, yeah, you do. When things aren't working out, you need to take action to change things, but you need to stop and pause, get back to that question of why and how and where is that for me now, to then take the inspired action, the aligned action that is going to help move you out of that stuck, frustrated place. Because when I don't do that and I just take action, it's often not the right action. It's often action that keeps me stuck and frustrated, interestingly enough, because it's misaligned, because I haven't stopped to listen, to feel what isn't right. And that listening to what I don't want, listening to feelings that I don't want, help me to get clear on feelings that I do want, and action I want to take, and changes I want to take. You know what? I'm just having a thought, right? This is pretty useful advice, isn't it? This isn't just about your yoga business, right? This is something we could take in all aspects of our life. But this is a podcast about mainly about you building a profitable, sustainable yoga business. Or if you're a female service entrepreneur, it's going to help you too. So let's just stay there. Right. So your why. There's a guy called Simon Sinek who has written a book about why. In fact, he's made loads and loads of money on this question: get really clear on your why. I have read his book and it is a good book. Slightly repetitive personally, sorry Simon, in terms of your messaging, but your messaging is really, really clear that before you do anything, you get clear on why it is you are doing it and you build out from there. And he is absolutely right that we get distracted by the action and not getting clear on why I'm taking this action. Why do I want to do this? Is this what I really want to do? And then move from here. Now, your why, when you connect your why, has lots of positive benefits. First of all, your why is going to be your story. Why am I choosing to do this? Why am I choosing to train to be a yoga teacher? Why am I choosing to teach yoga? Why do I choose to specialize in, I don't know, pregnancy yoga? What's your story? You know, why do you want to do this? And then you then communicate your why in your marketing, in your messaging, on how you talk to people. And that calls out the people that we bless to work with you. So that calls out your dream client and magnetizes them towards you, or from you getting clear on why you want to do this. And if you're listening and thinking, well, I teach a bit like me, I teach pregnancy yoga, I teach yin yoga, I teach mum and baby toddler yoga. I'm not super niche down into one style. That's also okay. There might be few whys going on in your business. Why do I teach my weekly classes? Because I love sharing the light that is yoga. I love the human connection I get from my classes. Why do I specialize in postnatal and toddler? Because I feel passionate being a mum myself about creating support networks for mums. Why do I teach yin yoga? Because yin yoga, quite frankly, has changed my life, right? I was getting super stiff post having children in my late 30s and trying to make it as a professional surfer. No, I'm joking. I'm not a professional surfer, but I absolutely love surfing. It completely lights me up, right? And this is going to come onto my how. And yin yoga really has kept me surfing. So this for me, I'm like, God, this has had a massive impact on me. That is why I teach those classes. Or let's think about my mentoring and why I'm driven to support female yoga teachers, because I've been a female yoga teacher now for 13 years. I know, first of all, how hard it can be, how lonely it can be, how tough it can be. I have, I'm not going to say luck. It's not luck, right? There's no such thing as luck, right? But I have managed to carve out a profitable, sustainable yoga business, working in several ways, experience of working in several ways. And I just know if I can do it, you can do it too. And I feel very passionate about helping women to do the same. And as you listen back to episode 31, I also feel passionate about just helping economically balance out wealth between men and women in the world. Okay, that's quite big, isn't it? That is a really big. But when we have these big concepts, remember, can't change everything. I can't help every woman in the world, but this energetic intention, I shine this light out in, this vibration will change those people that come across my vibration. Okay. And that is my why. They are my whys. What drives me to, I get really lit up. One of the things that really lights me up, okay, when I see someone I've trained, whether they've gone through my foundation teacher training course, pregnancy, postnatal, yin course, when I see them out there teaching yoga, full classes, creating. I mean, I love it. I was looking on social media the other day, and one of the ladies I've trained is on my pre and postnatal teacher training course, and she was sharing pictures of her full pregnancy class, her mum and baby class. This completely lit me up for lots of reasons, but mainly because I'm like, yes, my training course has helped to create those classes which create community and connection for mums and mums to be. One of the things I'm passionate about, and I can't teach every pregnant woman, postnatal woman in the world. I can only teach a finite amount of classes. Also completely lit up by the fact that yoga teacher now, because of my training course, has stepped into her soul purpose and has thriving busy classes. This drives me, it all lights me up. I love it. One of the things that I get like a yes moment from is when somebody in my mentorship program, sends me a message. There was one the other day. One of the ladies I'm currently working with had done an online winter workshop. She'd done it live, sold to a few places, and then she's repurposed this workshop to passive income now. And the other day she messaged me saying, oh my God, someone just bought my workshop, the recording of my workshop. I've just made £20 and I've done nothing. And I'm like, yeah, passive income's coming to your business. And that lit me up, and helping people, realize that what I've done, I'm not special. It isn't rocket science, that it's available to you too. Yeah. Really, really lights me up. So getting clear on why you want to do this, and actually what lights you up. That really helps you when you're like, why am I doing this? What lights you up? So Gay Hendricks, The Big Leap, another really good book. I love this book. I love Gay Hendricks. And like the two sort of messages that came through for me from reading Gay Hendricks' book is, what happens if you allowed yourself to be happy? And I'm like, ooh. And what is your zone of genius? And your zone of genius is when you're working in your why. The why I want to do this. This lights me up. This feels effortless. This feels ease. This is producing results that I feel excited about. This is your zone of genius. And it all connects down to your why. And getting clear on your why and what lights you up not only shows you where you should be going and what you should be focusing on, but it may also highlight things that you might be currently doing that you don't know why you're doing. Like, why did I say yes to this? And then you start thinking, well, that maybe is the reason when I turn up to this and I feel a bit resistant, for example. And then the challenge in those moments is, okay, so I need to let that go in order to pursue the things that light me up more, in order for me to work more into my zone of genius, in order for me to pursue my why, because it's in that place of you pursuing your why, your soul purpose, however you want to call it, working in your zone of genius. This is hard because this is something I still work on, is the place of flow. The place of flow, abundance, prosperity. Not putting a money figure on this, but this is a place of ease where you're like, that class just fills itself. I've got a waiting list. I've got people coming asking me for more. My retreat just took 2 weeks of fill. How did that happen? I didn't do much. I'll give you an example in my business if you want one. My foundation yoga teacher training course starts in March. I love training. I love working in training, as well as mentoring, like training, mentoring. You're helping people create possibilities, avenues of income, to help people share the light that is yoga, and to do a job that lights them up. So I really love training, and I haven't really been advertising this course much. It's on my website. I think it's pinned to my post on social media. And as we speak, I've just got 4 places left, and it's filled with ease. It has filled with ease. My one I tried to get off the ground in the autumn of 2022 wasn't filling with ease. There was lots of resistance around this for lots of reasons. And actually the reasons were neither Jane or I, who I run my training course in, were quite in a place in that autumn. If we tried to run that course, we had personal stuff going on that would made it really, really hard. And this is this energy. And once you start to think, okay, this is feeling hard, there's resistance here, what is the reason for this? What's my why? Why am I doing this? Is this something I want to do? Is this something that lights me up? The answer to that question might be no, or the answer to that question might be yes. Okay, so why am I finding it so hard? What am I doing to block the flow of this happening? And it's never that you're not a good enough yoga teacher. That is the self-limiting belief. That is, people would come along and find me out. I'm not ready for that. That's imposter syndrome. And it's that might be blocking you. Okay, so get really clear on why it is you're doing this. Okay. And I think sometimes with the whys, we expect them to be grand, big things, and they really can. Like when people fill out my yoga teacher training application form and the reasons why they want to teach, some people have had really big life events. I have got a lady joining the course who my age, rheumatoid arthritis, which through yoga is now in remission. She's now pain-free. This is transformational for her. And of course, she wants to train to teach yoga to help people. Right. Honestly, if I think back to when I started to train to be a yoga teacher, why did I got into yoga? Honestly, initially it was for physical reasons. My husband was stronger than me in the south and he could pop up way better than I could. And I was struggling with my pop up and I was like, I've got to do something. And I just fell into yoga. And I was also a school teacher and I loved teaching. And it just seemed a natural progression. I enjoyed yoga. I enjoyed practicing yoga. It had physical benefits for me. And I was a natural teacher and I fell into it that way. Things have deepened for me over the years, for sure. But don't feel like your why has got to be this deep reason why. Like maybe you want to run a retreat business because you want to travel. It's okay. It's okay if it on the surface, you judge it to be superficial, or maybe yoga has had a deep transformational impact on your life and you are driven to heal and help others. All of the reasons why are valid. Your why is valid. Your why is valid. And then the next question is how? How do you want to work? And this is so important. How do you want to work, right? Get very, very clear on what is your available capacity? What is your available time? Do you have another job? Are you working full-time in another job? Are you working part-time in another job? Do you have children? Do you have young children? Do you have caring responsibilities? If the answer to those questions are all of the above is like, yeah, and you're like, right, on top of all of this, I'm going to build 8 classes a week. That's going to create stress, and stress is resistance. That is not going to work for you. So the first thing is get really, really clear on how do you want to work? Do you want to work online? Do you want to work in person? How much time do you have? And how can I best optimize that time? And then again, it might be where I actually really enjoy working in small groups and I don't have a lot of time and I have a small audience. Actually, I'm going to develop a one-to-one higher ticket offer and work one-to-one with people therapeutically. Or maybe you have no time to teach a weekly class. It's just completely not going to happen for you, but there's capacity to run weekend workshops. Great. There's capacity to create some self-paced pre-recorded classes, and you create some online offers. Just see my Mac's about to die, so fingers crossed I get this done by the end. So get clear on the days and how you want to work, when you're available. Then I want to remind you that you as a yoga teacher are self-employed. And one of the reasons we would choose, one of the whys we're choosing to be self-employed, because we can choose how we want to work, what we want to create. So therefore, use that, have that in the back of the mind when you are saying yes to things or saying no to things. That said, one of the things that I have when people are first starting out is you might not know the answer to how you want to work because you haven't done anything yet. You don't know. So if you're in a place of, I'm not sure how I want to work, I'm not sure if this is going to work, I'm not sure if that's going to work, and you get yourself tied into your knots because I'm like, oh, does this link to my why and how I want to work? My mantra, if you don't go, you don't know. So at first we often say yes to everything, and that helps us to get clarity on the things we like, on the things we don't like, and move towards the things that we like. Okay, my darlings, so get clear on your why. Why am I doing this? What lights me up? What's my zone of genius, as Gay Hendricks would clear? How do I want to work? How is this going to work? Like, I want to have time to surf. So I want to have time to hang out with my family. So I make sure that within my business model, there are time for those things. Reminding yourself, one of the reasons you tend to be a yoga teacher is to create a lifestyle, a way of working that works for you. You're self-employed. So you create your own shit. Excuse my language. You create your own way of working. So create a way of working that works for you, and the rest just flows. Ease, prosperity, abundance flows. But it can be hard to feel that when we're stuck finding the answers to the why and the how. So get a piece of paper and do think about, brainstorm, journal, write down whys, hows, what comes up for you. Sometimes sitting in quiet meditation, asking why, asking how I want to work also brings it up, as well as signing up to my Profitable Yoga Business Roadmap, Monday, the 23rd of January. I'll put the link in the show notes, where I will help you further to get clear on your whys and your hows. All right, my lovelies, I'll see you all next week.